Most of the parents' concern is that my child is not studying at home. My child is always fond of playing the games or playing games in the mobile phone or watching TV or doing something else than studying at home. How many times we say them they are much interested in playing the games than the studies. It is becoming a big headache for us how to make my child to study well. This is the basic problem every parent face who have the kids at home. Today we are going to see what are the scientific reasons behind this so that we can understand and how we can make our child to divert towards the studies. Hi, this is Ravi Kumar Kata. Welcome to Blinkingminds Edutech. Today we are going to see the basic reasons why my child not interested in studies. See, when we see that a child without any force, without saying somebody, we don't say to our children, go and play skating in the home. We don't say do batting in the home, to play with the ball or play with the mobile phone or watch the TV. But they take initiative, they take themselves and do skating in the home. Still we will be scolding them, why you are playing in the home? And they're still playing the bats, playing with the bat and doing the actions with the batting. With taking the bat and they'll be doing with the bowling or stumping to the wall and doing something. Or they'll be keep asking that give me mobile phone, I want to play sometime. We don't say them to do something. We don't ask them to go and play the skating. We don't ask them to do practice with the bat. We don't ask them to do stamping the ball towards the wall. We don't ask them to take the mobile and play. But still they take initiative and they keep asking us how many times we scold, how many times we say don't do this at home, you are spoiling the items, you are breaking some items. But still they keep doing it. But when we ask as a parent, go and study, they don't show any interest. When we say don't do this, they will do more times. When we say do study, they don't do this. So what are the basic reasons? What are the scientific reasons behind this? So when I was waiting for a training session in a school for the 10th grade students, and I was waiting outside the waiting hall, a parent came to me. We both had sat together and we had a conversation, what you do, what I do. So after giving the conversation, he said, my child don't listen at home. My missus is, she's a B.Ed graduate and we don't send my child to the tuition center, but we make them to sit at home and study. But nowadays she's saying that please send our child to the tuition center because he's not listening. He's always going for playing or not listening to me and doing something else other than the studies. Then I asked, are you sending the tuition? Are you interested to send your child to the tuition center? Then he said, I'm not interested to send my child to the tuition because even after going there, he will be doing the same thing. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. At least we know what he is doing at home so that we can have some control over his anger. Then I said, before why your child is getting interest in playing than the studies, do you have any idea? Then he said, I don't have any idea. But nowadays all the students are doing the same thing. I said, not nowadays. From many decades, their children are in the same way. They don't listen. They are interested in learning, playing the games. Then the learning studies are sitting for the studies for hours and hours, 2 hours, 3 hours. Then I asked, parent, before going to your child's problem, I'll ask you what you have done when you are studied. I asked, what did your education? Then he said, I did my graduation. Then I asked him, please tell me, I'll give you the 2 options which you like most. Then I said, I gave 2 options. Study, play. play the games. Then he choose to, then I said him, if I give you the two options to study right now or to go and play, what will you choose? Then he said, I choose playing the games. Then I asked him, in the games, cricket and football. Now there are in the games, there are two options. Which one you like to play? Then he said, I love to play cricket. Then I asked him, batting or bowling? I asked him which one you choose from in the cricket, which one you choose to do first, the batting or bowling? Then he said bowling. Then I asked him, I gave two options, study or play games. You have chosen to play the games. Then in the games, I gave two options. Then you decided to play cricket. In the cricket, I asked you to choose anyone. Then you choose to play batting first. Why did you do that? What are the reasons? Why you didn't choose bowling? Why you didn't choose to play football? Why didn't you choose to study? Then he said, I love playing games. I love cricket. I love batting. That's why I have chosen this. Then I said, there is a scientific reason behind this. Because study is not giving the pleasure than the games. So you have chosen, your brain has chosen the games because it has experienced the pleasure by playing these games than the studies. And when it comes to the cricket and football, you have more pleasure in playing the cricket than playing the football. That's why you have chosen to play cricket. And when it comes to the batting or bowling, where you love to play cricket, but in that also you have chosen to do batting than the bowling, because you have got the enough pleasure in doing batting than the bowling. This is what you built in your brain by taking the pleasure, and without any waiting, you have said immediately that I want to play games, I want to play cricket, I want to do batting first. This is what happens. Same thing happens with your children, with your child. When they have not got the pleasure in study, then they choose playing the games. That's why they go for playing games outside, watching TV, and playing in mobile. When we no need to ask them, go and do this. They immediately always find, whenever they get the time, they choose to do these things. They want to play games, they want to watch TV, they want to play play games in the mobile, or do something in the mobile, so and so, or opening the Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, so many things. And they want to talk with their friends. But when we say to study, their brain don't accept to do this because they did not receive any pleasure in studies. They have received every day. How many times you object that you don't do this, but still they keep doing this. That's why they are more interested in doing this, not in studies. Then now question, how we can do, why they didn't get pleasure in studies. Now let's see why they didn't get pleasure. When they sit in the class, they don't understand the topic while teacher is explaining. They don't understand. When they don't understand the topic, they are not getting any pleasure. When they want to study, then answers are not, they are not able to learn faster. And it is taking a lot of time to learn the answers. So when they are learning, they have not received any pleasure. And after writing the examination, or when they are in examination center, they are not able to remember what they have learned. So they did not get, or they did not receive any pleasure in writing the examination. After examination, when the marks result, in the results time, they have not got enough marks. Means if the 25 marks question paper, if they get 10 or 15, their brain didn't receive any pleasure. So because of this reason, they are not interested. And when it comes to the games, they can play, immediately they get the results, immediately they can enjoy, immediately they can do, if they are playing the batting, they can beat 4 or 6, they are receiving the pleasure. When they are doing the bowling, if they take the wickets, they are receiving the pleasure. And they are physically, mentally, emotionally, they are connected to playing the games. But here, they are not connected in any way. They are not connected mentally or physically, emotionally, they are not connected to these studies. They went to school to listen and understand. They are not able to understand. They lost pleasure in that. Their brain is not getting any signal. And learning, they did not get any signal or pleasure. Examination, they did not get any pleasure in writing that. And results, they got less marks. And they keep, instead of giving the pleasure with the positive thoughts, they started building negative thoughts in their brain. So that's why they are more interested in playing the games than the study. So how we can make the child to listen? How listen to you and to study without your force? If you want your child to study without your force, then we need to train the children on certain aspects where when teacher is explaining in the class, they need to answer when the teacher asks the questions. When they answer the question in the class, they receive some pleasure. And we need to train them to understand the concept in the class. Then they receive the pleasure. When we train them to understand in the class, see, when they answer to the teacher, they receive the pleasure. When they understand the topic, they receive the pleasure. When they learn the answers very fast, then they receive the pleasure. When the examination comes, if they remember whatever they have learned, and whatever they have learned, they have written in the examination without any pressure, then they receive pleasure. And when results come, if they get 25 out of 25, or at least 22 to 25, then they get that pleasure. At that time, we don't need to force our child to study. They play nicely, and whenever they sit, they know what to do. And whenever they sit for study, they know how to study, how to learn, how to be active. Then they give enough time to study. Then they are good in their play sometime, and they do studies more time. So we need to train the students on doing this, making the child to understand in the class, answer to the teacher, and without dreams and distractions in the class. And we need to make them how to learn faster. We need to train them how to remember whatever they have learned. Then they will write in the examination nicely, and when they get the results, then they get pleasure in doing so. Now see which students. If a child is not interested to learn or are playing more at home, that means is around 60% to 80% or 40% to 70%. If they are in this category of getting the marks, they play more in the home without your permission, and they take more pressure, and you need to take more pressure to force them to study. If we don't train now in a proper way to reach to the 90% to 100% of marks getting, and if we don't train building the positive thoughts in their brain, then one day you need to buy an engineering seat or a doctor's seat for lakhs and lakhs of rupees. So this is where we need to train. So if you are interested to learn, or if you are interested to train your children, if you are a child, if you wanted to learn, then come to Blinkingminds app. It is available in Play Store, where I teach how to overcome, how to get pleasure, how to learn faster, how to avoid distractions in the class, how you can become self-learner without force of the parents, without force of other teachers or somebody else, and how you can listen in the class, and how to read the lessons. All this will be trained. It will be personal, and we can do one-on-one session or a group session, and you can train. There is nothing much time needed. Within few days, you can transform yourself to average student to a topper student. Thank you. Please subscribe the channel for more information.